Hi everyone, welcome to Little Time and Joker Stories with me, Megan. And Little Time and Joker Stories is all about learning a new story and doing some yoga poses as we go along. So copy the moves that I do and try to have some fun. And let's start off our yoga as we always do by crossing our legs and sitting on our bottoms, bringing our hands to our heart, and after 3 we'll say our yoga hello, namaste. 1, 2, 3, namaste. Fantastic. Now our story today is all about a skunk. Now skunks are known for letting off a very bad smell to scare people away. So let's rub our noses for our skunk in our story, as though we can smell a really bad smell. Well done. The skunk in our story is called Sasha. Sasha lives in a forest, surrounded by trees, and she goes to forest school. Let's go into our school pose. Standing, with our feet apart, bring your hands to your heart and take them above your head. Well done. Sasha loves her school. It's surrounded by trees. Let's go into our tree pose. Standing with our feet together. Take one foot on top, bring your hands to your heart and grow your tree and open your branches. And Sasha loves learning amongst all those trees. Bring that tree down. Let's go and make one on the other side. Swapping your feet over. And grow your tree and open your branches. Let's count to 5 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. At school, Sasha learns about lots and lots of different plants. Come to sitting on your bottoms with your legs out wide in front of you. Bending to one foot and pinching each of your toes. Sasha investigates lots and lots of plants, sitting up and bending to her other foot and pinching those toes. She learns lots about lots and lots of different plants that grow in the forest. She also gets to search for mini beasts. Crossing your legs and take out your super spectacles. Well done. But what Sasha loves the most is listening to stories around the fire pit. Come to lying on your tummies, lifting up your feet, and then reaching one arm round at a time to grab onto your feet, lifting into a fire pit pose. Well done. Now at school, Sasha has loads of fantastic friends. But there's one boy who is not very nice to her. His name is Felix. Felix the fox. Let's go into a fox pose. Coming onto your hands and knees. Lift up one leg behind you nice and straight and then bend it at the knee to show your fox tail. Felix the fox is very nasty to Sasha. He often calls her names. Come onto your knees. One of those names being Smelly Sasha. Rubbing your nose. He also snatches things off her. Take one hand and put it on the opposite leg and turn to look over your shoulder. And then spin back as he snatches something from her. Let's try that the other side. Taking your other hand on the opposite knee and looking over your shoulder. Then spinning back as he snatches something. He also often pushes her over, taking your hands in front of your chest and then pushing them forward as you reach forward, bending over. Sasha's friends love Sasha very much. Open your arms wide and wrap yourselves in a hug to show how much they love her. And they don't like Felix either. They don't like the way that he treats their friend. All the animals in the forest live in one long strip of forest. At one end is forest school. Let's go back into our school pose. Standing up with your feet apart, bringing your hands to your heart and head above your head to show forest school at one end of the forest. At the other end is a tall mountain. Bring your hands by your side, take your feet together, and then roll your shoulders up and back into a strong mountain pose. On the side of that mountain is a cave. Let's go into a cave pose, starting on our hands and knees, tucking under our toes and lifting our bottom into the air. The animals stay far away from this cave, because inside this cave lives Old Miss Batty. Come to standing. Old Miss Batty is a bat. So let's go into our bat pose. Turn around and face the back and open your legs wide. Place your hands on your hips to show your bat wings. And we know that bats hang upside down. So bending forward and look down between your legs. Give me a wave to show your bat pose. Well done. Now the animals stay away from Old Miss Batty's cave because they have heard scary stories about her. Come to sitting on your bottom with your legs crossed. Well done. They have heard that Old Miss Batty eats small animals. Rub your tummy with one hand to show her eating, and rub your ear with the other hand, showing these stories they have heard. Well done. Now try swapping your hands over. Put one hand back onto your tummy and the other hand onto your ear, and rub. Well done, good job. The animals will only go near the mountain. Let's go back into that mountain pose. Standing with our feet together, hands by your side, rolling those shoulders up and back into your strong mountain pose. Well done. The animals will only go near that mountain once a year. And that time is now. It's Halloween. And on Halloween, the animals love to go and see Old Miss Batty's pumpkin. Okay, let's go into a pumpkin pose. Coming down onto our knees, taking our head down to the floor and tucking our arms in tight at our sides into a pumpkin ball. Every year, Old Miss Batty makes the best and most scariest pumpkin. And all the animals love to take a look. Coming up onto your knees, Old Miss Batty scoops out the inside of the pumpkin, bending forward and scooping your arms together. Scooping out the inside of that pumpkin. Let's try that again. Bending forward and scoop. One more time, bending forward and scoop. Well done. Next, she saws in a terrifying face into the side of the pumpkin. Come to sitting on your bottoms, your legs out straight in front of you, and lift up your saw and start sawing that terrifying face. Well done. Now pop that saw down. Let's pick up our other one and carry on sawing. Once she's done that, Old Miss Batty puts a candle inside. Let's go into a candle pose. Come to lying on your backs and lift both of your legs up straight towards the sky. And then for our candle flickering, point your toes and give them a wiggle to show the flame of the candle flickering away. Therefore, as it's Halloween, tonight Sasha and her friends will creep up the mountain to see Old Miss Batty's terrifying pumpkin. Sasha is so excited. She pops on her costume, coming onto your hands and knees. This year, Sasha is going to be a black cat on our hands and knees, and let's meow like a cat. Fantastic. Then she gets her trick-or-treat bag, sitting on your bottoms, and bring your feet together. So the bottoms of your feet are touching like this and bending forward. And she opens the lid of her trick-or-treat bag, ready to place all her treats inside. Then Sasha gives her mummy a big kiss and heads out to meet her friends, kissing your hand and then blowing out your kiss. Try that breath again. One more time. Fantastic. The first house they went to was Wendy Woodpecker's house. After standing with your feet together and bending forward, then let your arms fall in front of you and flap them open and close like a bird, just like Wendy the Woodpecker is. They headed to Wendy Woodpecker's house. The animals climbed up the tree, climbing, and then knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Wendy the Woodpecker opened the door, coming onto your knees, sitting up. Take one leg out to the side and lift up your opposite arm. And then we're going to open the door, leaning her over. And as she opened the door, the animal said, "Trick or treat!" Wendy the Woodpecker gave them a big smile, and then she gave them all a chocolate bar each. Delicious. Sasha popped hers inside her trick-or-treat bag onto your bottoms with your feet touching. The bottoms of your feet are touching, that's it. And then bending forward as she pops that chocolate bar into her trick-or-treat bag. Then the animals climbed back down the tree, standing up and climbing down. And sit down to our knees. Well done. The next house they went to was Harry Hare's. Let's go into a hare pose. Coming onto your knees and then dropping your head down to the floor. Hook your hands behind your back and lift them up above your back as a hare, the ears of our hare. They got to Harry Hare's burrow and they crawled inside, coming onto your hands and knees as they crawled through the burrow. Well done. And they got to his door and they knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Well done. Harry Hare opened the door, sitting up, and this time take out your other leg and lift up your opposite arm. And as he opened the door, the animal said, "Trick or treat!" Well done. Harry Hare gave them all a packet of sweeties each. Delicious. Sasha, back onto your bottom, taking the bottoms of your feet, they are touching. Sasha bent forward to pop her sweeties into her trick-or-treat bag. Fantastic. The animals continued visiting houses. Come to standing, and we're going to take some big steps as they walk through the forest visiting houses. One big step. Two big steps. They continued visiting houses. 3. Knocking on doors. 4. And saying, "Trick or treat!" 5. And collecting lots of delicious treats. Finally came the time to go and see the pumpkin. Now is the time to head to the cave. Go back into that cave pose. Coming onto your hands and knees, tucking under those toes, and pushing your bottom to the sky into a cave pose. Well done. The animals got to the mountain. Let's go back into that mountain pose. Standing with our feet together, hands by your sides. Lift up your shoulders and roll them back and down into a strong mountain pose. They stood at the bottom of the mountain and looked up. And they tiptoed up the side of the mountain towards the cave. When they got to the cave entrance, they sat down onto your knees. And they took a look at the pumpkin. Take out your super spectacles. pumpkin was amazing. It was the scariest pumpkin ever. As the animals are looking, Felix the fox comes sneaking along. Let's go back into that fox pose. Onto our hands and knees. Taking our leg out straight behind us and bending it at our knee for our fox tail. Felix the fox sneaks up and grabs Sasha's trick-or-treat bag. And then he throws it into the entrance of the cave, tucking under your toes and lifting your bottom up back into our cave pose. Sasha and her friends are shocked. Sasha starts to cry, coming onto your bottoms, lifting up your knees and giving them a hug. She doesn't know what to do. Sasha really wants her trick-or-treat bag, but she's so scared to go inside the cave where Old Miss Batty lives. Sasha's friends tell her, "It's okay. You can do it. We'll wait out here and you tiptoe inside, quiet as a mouse, and grab your trick-or-treat bag." Sasha thinks about it, crossing your legs and rubbing your head. She thinks she can do it, as long as she doesn't make a sound. To get herself ready, she takes 3 calming breaths. Taking a breath in through your nose, and as you breathe out through your mouth, you're going to pitter-patter over your shoulders. And again, breathe in through your nose. And this time try closing your eyes as you breathe out and patter. Keeping those eyes closed, breathe in through your nose. And breathe out as you pitter-patter. Then Sasha stands up, ready to go inside. She tiptoes into the cave. It's so dark in here. Sasha can hardly see anything. Luckily, her bag has a glow-in-the-dark strip on it, so she can just about see it shining on the ground. She stops, and she bends forward to pick up her bag, touching the floor. Well done. As Sasha stands back up and turns to leave, she bumps right into Old Miss Batty. Let's go back into our back pose, turning to the back. Wide legs and hands on your hips, and bending forward to look through your legs. Sasha is terrified. She lets out a huge scream. But Sasha is so scared she can't move anywhere. Old Miss Batty looks at Sasha and says, "What are you doing? Would you like some tea and cake? It's ever so lonely here in my cave. It's lovely to have some company." After standing with your feet together, rubbing your nose, Sasha is shocked. Old Miss Batty is nice. Sasha definitely will join her for tea and cake. Come to sitting on your bottom, your legs out wide in front of you, bending forward as she has some tea and cake. As she enjoys it, rubbing your jaw, Sasha tells Old Miss Batty all about what the animals were doing, why they came up the mountain, and then all about what Felix the nasty fox did to her. Old Miss Batty, crossing your legs, has an idea, rubbing your head. She has an idea of how to get back at that naughty Felix. All of a sudden, From outside of the cave, all the other animals heard a noise, rubbing your ears. They heard Sasha screaming and screaming and screaming. They stood up and they tiptoed towards the entrance of the cave. Then, going down, crouching down, and after three, we're going to jump in the air and say boo. Because then Sasha and Old Miss Batty ran out, jumped at them and shouted boo. 1, 2, 3, boo! All the animals fell back in surprise, coming down onto your feet, hug your knees and then roll onto your back. As they fall back in surprise, but Felix the fox doesn't just fall back, he starts running down the mountain, screaming, he's so scared. But all the other animals, Sasha's friends, look at Sasha and Old Miss Batty and notice they are laughing. They decide to head inside the cave with Sasha and Old Miss Batty, coming onto your hands and knees, tucking under those toes and lifting your bottoms into the air into our cave pose. Sasha's friends all sit down to have some tea and cake. Sasha is so full, she lays down on her back. Come to line your backs with your legs out straight and your arms by your sides. What a crazy evening. Sasha really thought that Old Miss Batty was scary. It turns out she was wrong. She was just sad and lonely. It was nasty what Felix the fox had done to Sasha. But secretly, Sasha is glad that he did it. Because now she has a brand new friend. Sasha, remember not to make thoughts about someone until she gets to know them. Not to judge a person until she knows them better. Because just like she did with Old Miss Batty, she could be wrong in the future. Oh, and her friend was scared of Old Miss Batty, but it turns out she was a lovely lady who just wanted some company. And not only that, she also helped Sasha get back at Felix the fox. She has a feeling he won't be bothering her again. Remember, don't have bad thoughts about somebody. Get to know them and see what they're really like first. Having your fingers on your toes. Lift up your knees and give them a hug. And then roll onto your side and push yourselves up onto your bottoms, your legs crossed. Bring your hands to your heart. And after 3, we'll say our yoga goodbye. Namaste. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Rhyme and Yoga Stories today. See you again soon. Bye.